preparing, setting up. It's done. It's redirecting. Boom.
It's Reverend Bill with your God Call.
If you had a knob in front of you that let you adjust the amount of joy you were experiencing in your life, how high up would you turn it? Most people would turn their joy up to a very high level, and that's completely understandable, and it's absolutely okay. And the fact of the matter is you can do it. But what if the control were a little more complicated than just a knob? Maybe there are two knobs and you have to adjust them together and learn exactly how to do it. Maybe it's as complicated as a piano and you have to play the melody yourself. The question is, how much time and energy would you put into learning how to bring joy into your life? Well, the process works, so spend some time because you're worth it.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. If you don't know me, I'm Emily. And I'm going to start off with a song called Wonderful the Way I Feel by My Morning Jacket. It matters to me. Took a long time to get here. If it would have been easy, I would not have cared. Like a tropical forest, like a cop on the beat. When all is in order, you get lost in the heat. I feel so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful the way I feel. I feel so wonderful, wonderful, ooh, wonderful the way I feel. Doesn't matter to me. I could take it or leave it. I can learn from way back when and still live right now. With the wind, with the sun on my shoulders and the wind at my back, I will never grow older, at least not in my mind. I feel so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful the way I feel. I feel so wonderful, wonderful, ooh, wonderful the way I feel. I am going where there ain't no fear. I am going where the Spirit is near. I am going where the living is easy and the people are kind, a new state of mind. I am going where there ain't no police. I am going where there ain't no disease. I'm going where there ain't no need to escape from what is, only spirits at ease. Wonderful the way I feel.
Wonderful the way you sound as well. Thank you so much, Emily. And good morning, New Thought, Philadelphia. Wonderful to see all of your smiling faces, including Jesus in a bus this time, Jesus, it looks like. So the World Traveler. You guys, a train, okay. And automobiles before too long, I'm sure. So yeah, you guys know the rules on Zoom at this point. So we've been doing this for a while. So keep your microphone muted, except when you're sharing or when we're going to be making some kind of a cacophony together, like now. So go ahead and unmute your microphone and repeat after me. I open myself to joy.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to love.
I open myself
Open
to
myself love.
I open myself to the good that's surrounding me now.
I open myself to the good that is surrounding me now.
And I know love is at hand.
And I know that love is at hand.
And so it is.
It is.
So it is.
All right, exercise that mute button one more time as I remind you that New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. Whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you to our Zoom today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you. And welcome home. We believe there's one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we each use that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. Or as we say it for short around here, your new life begins with a new thought. If you have an extra electronic device that is not going to be required for the next hour or so, go ahead and put it on shush. As Breen says, if you've got a fax machine or a pager that needs to be silenced, go ahead and do that. And that way we can turn ourselves inward towards this spiritual network that we're on. I'm Reverend Bill Marcioni. Our music today is by the lovely Emily Drinker. Our guest speaker is the the infamous and to be reintroduced Reverend Dave Schbach. A lot of you know him. Entertainingly, a few who are on the volunteer team did not know him. And we'll get into some of the details on that. Our practitioner for the celebration today is Joe Catanzaro, RSCP, who is going to open us up the way we open up everything with a practical prayer.
Good morning, everyone. Good to be here at Sunday celebration. Take a breath and center. Thinking about celebration, we meet today to celebrate. We celebrate our oneness, the oneness of everything, of all creation. And also to celebrate or honor our knowing of that oneness, our recognition of that oneness. To acknowledge the one power, love, intelligence, one presence, and to accept it as our own. Accept it as us individually and collectively. Let's allow it to fill us and flow through us, in us and as us. Allow it to work through us, because that's what it does. That is the truth of who we are. And we can accept that too. This is the truth of who we are. To claim it as our shared power, our shared light, our shared love, our shared truth. And to be grateful for all of it. To know that we are that one, that we share in all of its ability to create our lives. And did I say we should be grateful for it? And then with me, see all the good that we want. Be grateful for each and every individual and collective good that we think we need, or we decide we need. Claim it, allow it. And then knowing that that power is always working. In gratitude with me, release all that good, the words for all of that good to that one power that always says yes. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Joe. So we don't do prayers to appease God or to earn God points or something. We actually use practical prayer to create a new experience in our life. And so we like to share Prayer Works stories during the Sunday celebration. And we've been running the Unexpected Income Club for the last month or so as part of the Beyond Limits class, and other people are invited into the program as well. This week, I got a note from one of the Beyond Limits students. It says, last week, out of the blue, I love it's out of the blue. It always happens out of the blue. I got a mysterious check for $182 from my health insurance company. Had no idea what it was from and thought it might be a scam. When I called them to verify, sure enough, apparently they were refunding a duplicate payment from 2019. Not sure why it took them 3 years to figure that out, but hey, I'm grateful for the abundance circling around. So, and that's the way that it happens. You know, did they have to send the money back? No. Did they have to wait until now? No. But Unexpected Income Club, opening ourselves up to those possibilities. And there it goes. So if anybody else has a prayer work story that you'd like to share, Breen's hand is already up. So go ahead, Breen.
I've got an unexpected income story as well that I actually forgot about. This time of year, some of us, I guess, are scrambling, maybe not scrambling, but we're getting our financial paperwork in order, get it all into the year statements and stuff, and then we file our taxes. And I did that, sent off taxes, got a modest refund, and then I got a letter from the IRS. Oh,
dum dum dum
dum dum dum, and it said, "Hey, you made a mistake on your taxes. Here's more money for you." Okay, thank you.
I love when that happens. I love when that happens. Thank you, Breen. Anybody else? Annie's got a story. I love the awesome Annie stories.
So I think we closed on our house this week, which is awesome, and a prayer works in the making, because that for 4 years, 20 houses later after offers, we finally have what I know is our dream home. That was actually not what I was thinking about at all. I was thinking about how we had to get a homeowner's quote, and it was astronomical. And then I talked to my mortgage guy, and I was like, yeah, this quote is crazy. And he was like, oh, check out my guy. And I went with his guy, and the quote that they gave us for the homeowner's insurance was like $500 less than I was expecting. This happened a couple weeks ago. But then in addition to that, he said, oh, why don't you check out our rates for your car insurance? And our car insurance was cut in half.
I love when that happens.
I know. I was like, what? Yes.
I love when that happens.
Money.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask Hannah to share a prayer work story from Friday that Joe and I were actually involved in a little bit. And if you're not going to, I'll tell the story, Hannah.
I can tell the story.
Okay.
So, yeah, I wasn't feeling that well on Friday. Had a little bit of a sore throat and stuff, and was getting in my head about if it was COVID. And then I'm always afraid I'm going to pass it on to patients if I have it, and that kind of thing. And so, reached out to Bill and Joe for some prayers. I was thinking I'd get a test later that day, but my manager, like, we had some at work, so I went ahead and took one. And so within, like, very quickly, I got their prayers working and got a negative test. So happy about that.
And we immediately moved the prayers onto Anna feeling better from not COVID. So prayer works. Go ahead and work it. You can go solo. You can call a practitioner. You can do it with your friends. It absolutely works. Sandy is going to do the announcements following the fanfare.
I only heard one toot. Green? Oh, there's the rest of it. Okay. This pertinent and prodigal information is on our website at newthoughtphilly.org and in our weekly e-newsletter. Please sign up on the website so we can keep in touch. Twice a day, we have a community check-in and meditation on Zoom. Everyone's welcome. They're inspiring, fun, and quick, less than 15 minutes start to finish. Our spring class is No Mud, No Lotus, led by our friend and master forgiveness teacher, Reverend Dr. Michelle Wadley. It combines the heart of forgiveness with the strength of spiritual principle. 6 Wednesday evenings beginning May 4th. Registration is open now. Episode 42 of Reverend Bill's Practical Prayer Podcast is Manifestation. Listen on the website or subscribe on Apple, Google, Spotify, or Stitcher. You can watch the live stream of the recording session on Monday at 1 on Facebook and YouTube. Follow our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and join the 880 spiritual adventurers in our group on meetup.com. The Power of Eight Intention Circle meets on Zoom every Monday at 6:30 p.m. We're mid-series now, and a new series begins May 2nd. Contact Sandy, that's me, for information. The Women's Circle meets on Zoom on the fourth Thursday of the month at 7:30. Contact Sandy for information. The Unexpected Income Club is underway. Join the club to prove prosperity principles in the laboratory of your life. Sign up on the website, say the practical prayer every day, and donate 10% of the extra money that shows up for you. The other 90% is God's gift to you. Save the date for the free one-day Anton virtual retreat on Friday, April 22nd, starting at 11 a.m. That's Eastern Time. There will be inspiring speakers, amazing music, and breathtaking breakout sessions. Registration is online now at antn.org. We're grateful for your tax-deductible donations by PayPal, check, Venmo, or Cash App. Thanks to the production team and presenters who make our Zoom celebrations work and have fun doing it. There's a short technical rehearsal before the celebration on Sunday. To join the team, contact Carla Ann. Next Sunday is online. Reverend Bill dives into the little words like but, or if, or when that get in the way getting to what we want. Live original music by Alicia Garcia. Reverend Bill and the practitioners offer professional spiritual coaching and practical prayer by appointment. After the celebration, Joe will be available for a quick miracle in a minute prayer at no charge. And we'll leave the Zoom room open for people to talk among ourselves after the service.
Thank you, Sandy. And the Anton virtual retreat, the reason that we did it last year was because the in-person retreat had gotten postponed or canceled too many times. So we got tired of not getting together. So it was very much a pandemic related thing, but it was awesome. It was an opportunity to get together and hear really inspiring people, a whole day full of it, and lots of different activities. For example, there's a New Thought dance party. I think it's at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it's led by the New Thought Philly Groove team, which is Jesus and Sandy and Dina and Sarah, and everybody's welcome to join in. The whole thing is just a complete blast. There's a social scramble. There's an all-star concert with 4 great musicians that wraps up the evening. So if you have some time available on Friday, in the middle or the end of April, it's a month away now, go ahead and sign up for it. It starts at 11 o'clock, it ends at 9:30. So even if you don't have the entire day free, there's something to do because it's chunked up pretty nicely. I'm looking around and there's some people I haven't seen for quite a long time. If there's anybody who's here for the first time, if you wave your hand or use your reaction button so we can understand who you are, we have a very special blessing and an invitation for you to make sure you sign up for the e-newsletter. I'm not seeing anybody new, so we get to bless ourselves, all of us. So everybody, rub your hands together, feel some warmth, feel the love. Take a look around at the people who are with us. Let that love shine. Let that goodness radiate. We are the bright lights of God's love. I'm so grateful for the way that we're shining our light and sharing our love today. Welcome home. as Emily does the next song, go ahead and switch to gallery view and scroll your eyes around, make eye contact with the people who we're in community with today, because the eyes that you're looking into and the eyes that you're looking with are all the eyes of God. Emily.
All right. I am unwritten, can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned, staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. I break tradition, sometimes my tries are outside the lines, yeah. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. Unwritten. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. The Flames of Faith is going to be led today by Christine Joy from Boulder.
We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people of all faiths come from one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the day, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. The reading today comes to us from the shores of Lake Michigan and Milwaukee. And Carolyn,
Okay. The reading today is from 365 Science of Mind, A Year of Daily Wisdom from Ernest Holmes. And the reading is for August 20th. Guidance and wisdom belong to me. Realizing that all action starts in and is a result of consciousness. Prepare your mind to receive the best that life has to offer. Become increasingly aware of the one presence, the one life, and the one spirit, which is God. Try to drop all sense of lack or limitation from your thought. The spirit works for you through your belief. All things are possible to this spirit. Therefore, everything is possible to you in such a degree as you can believe in and accept the operation of spirit in your life. There is something within you that is completely aware of its oneness with power, of its unity with life. Loose all thoughts of discord and fear and permit the true pattern to come to the surface and say, I allow divine wholeness to flow through me in ever widening circles of activity. Every good I have experienced is now increased. Every joy that has come into my life is now multiplied. There is a new influx of inspiration into my thought. I see more clearly than ever before that my divine birthright is freedom, joy, and eternal goodness. The divine presence interprets itself to me through love and friendship, through peace and harmony. Knowing that life gives according to my faith, I lift my mind, I elevate my faith, I listen deeply to the song of my being.
Yes, thank you. I love that last line. So beautiful. This is a song by India Ari. It's called Beautiful Flower. It's really, it talks about girls and women, but I think it applies to anybody, especially in the context of that reading. This is a song for every girl who's ever been through something she thought she couldn't make it through. I sing these words because I was that girl too, wanting something better than this. But who do I turn to? Now we're moving from the darkness into the light. This is the defining moment of our lives. 'Cause you're beautiful like a flower, more valuable than a diamond. You are powerful like a fire. You can heal the world with your mind. There is nothing in the world that you cannot do when you believe in you. Who are beautiful, yeah, you. Who are powerful, yeah, you. Who are brilliant, yeah, you. Who are resilient. This is a song for every girl who feels that she is not special, 'cause she don't look like a supermodel Coke bottle. The next time the radio tells you to shake your money maker, shake your head and tell them you're a leader. Now we're moving from the darkness into the light. This is the defining moment of our lives. 'Cause you're beautiful like a flower, more valuable than a diamond. You are powerful like a fire. You can heal the world with your mind. There is nothing in the world that you cannot do when you believe in you. Who are beautiful, yeah, you. Who are brilliant, yeah, you. Who are powerful, yeah, you. Who are resilient, yeah, you. Who are beautiful, yeah, you. Who are brilliant, yeah, you. Who are powerful, yeah, you. Who are resilient, yeah, yeah. This song is for you. This song is for you. Yeah. Yeah, you who are beautiful. Yeah, you who are brilliant. Yeah, you who are powerful. Yeah, you. Thanks.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Emily. And in the tech rehearsal beforehand, Dave asked for the people on the team to send him a reminder in the chat to start his recording. So I was wondering how many that he got. And of course, now I've also done it out loud again. 3 chat messages. I love when the team comes together. Our guest speaker today is not a stranger to New Thought Philadelphia. Reverend Dave and I did ministerial studies together. We've been in a mastermind group that meets weekly for 50, we can't even count, maybe 15 or 18 years or something like that. He was a co-founder of New Thought Philadelphia and was co-spiritual director for about 9 years as well. So now our prodigal minister is going to share some of the wisdom that he has accumulated over the months and years. And please join me in welcoming Reverend Dave Schbach.
Yay.
I'm so delighted to be back. And Emily's song was a perfect set of RPAs. So if you don't know what a rapid pace affirmation is, those are them. You say them to yourself over and over again when your mind is doing something different. Hello, loving community. I'm looking around and seeing all these bright lights, and I just feel open to love. And I know that's what's here. So I have a question for you to start this little talk. One is, are you absolutely 100% satisfied and happy with your life? Show of hands. Wonderful, this talk is not for you. However, you're welcome to stay if that happens to be the case. Because there's always something moving in us. Where I was, happy and contented with my life. And so it is. Often what happens when we find ourselves in repetitive situations, we want to point our fingers at why those repetitive situations keep happening. Maybe it's them or something outside of ourselves, but in fact, and in spirit, what is unfolding is the reflection of the thinking that we have been having, where we were. See, this infinite intelligence, this infinite being is ever unfolding new and interesting and different in each moment, yet our minds have a tendency to hold on to what was as an expression of what is. We can have this possibility of infinite expressions of that divine mind through and as us in this very moment. Yet what we tend to do is remember what happened before. And often that can be a block to our moving forward into our next greatest experience. So I had asked whether you were fully contented and happy with your life as it is in this very moment. And the reason that I asked that question is because there's always an opportunity for greater love, greater awareness, greater contentment, joy, and happiness in our lives if we allow it. And often we can stop ourselves from accepting that good into our lives by the very nature of our thinking. So the talk is about the consciousness of a thing, but what I'd like to point out is that thoughts are things. So it begins in our thinking where we're developing an idea of how we want to experience this life, how we want to be expressing in the world and to receive the world into our experience. So if we find ourselves with repetitive thoughts, and I know that I have many of them because I get to experience them over and over again. Like I love having an instant example of what I'm talking about. Right before, while we were doing the tech rehearsal this morning, I thought, what if we get Zoom bombed? Oh my goodness. And there it is. I literally, right there, it shows up. So sometimes the thinking that we have manifests itself almost instantly. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But the things that we are consistently experiencing in life are a reflection of the tendency of our thinking that has led up to this very moment. Now, that's not to say that we're bound by that tendency of thinking. There's nothing that binds an infinite potential other than what we are thinking. So if you find yourself with some repetitive thought that is negative in nature, we have to do a little work. We have to do a little work to root out that thought, because what it's doing is it's activating a universal law that is saying the only answer it has. What's that answer? Yes. So if I have a repetitive negative thought running around in my head, whether it be fear-based or experience-based or from whatever direction it's coming from, it is going to take on the power of an infinite law that has all of the requirements for expressing it into experience. This is a little note about worry. So if you happen to be a worrier, I'm going to give you a hint. Worry fulfills all of the requirements of practical prayer in a negative. It is a repetitive idea of some situation you do not want to experience, with all of the clarity and fear of that experience powering the request of the universe. And the universe is saying, yes. So it becomes incumbent upon each one of us to take a good look at what we're thinking and then consciously choose to be thinking something else. Now that sounds easy, and it's not. It's really not easy to change your thinking. It requires a consistency and a persistency in rooting out negative thought to allow for something good and new to replace the place that you have rooted out. So I'm not going to go into the botanical references, planting seeds and weeding gardens. But the reality is, the mind is such a powerful thing that it absorbs everything that we see. We're not even aware of how much of our perceptions are absorbed into our thinking, but they come from all different directions. And if we do not clarify that this is what we are consciously choosing to experience in our lives, then they can become embedded in our thought pattern. And therefore, we unexpectedly experience something that we don't want, or at least we think we don't want. Mostly because we've been thinking about not wanting it. Our fears manifest. So that may be the cause of many of the repetitive experiences you have in life. I know it is the cause of mine because I know. I get to think my thoughts and I look at them, and if I actually bother to keep track of them, I can look at the track record and say, yep, just about what I expected. Whether that be good or not so good. However, we have an opportunity in which we can turn from what was into what we want to experience next. So if we're not satisfied in some area of our life, if we are not experiencing an abundance of health, an abundance of joy, an abundance of love, an abundance of the good that is surrounding us, as we say at the beginning of this little adventure today, then we have some work to do about what we've been thinking is ours to have. There's another little key to changing your thinking. Everything has already been given. It is ours to accept, ours to allow a greater idea of what we now experience to emerge in our consciousness first as that thing in consciousness, understanding the good for it and of it, and expressing it through our lives by accepting it as ours in this moment now. And that's the trick. That's really the trick. It's easy to say, I will have, sorry, Bill, or anything that's out there in the future. But to accept it into our lives as I have now, this good which I desire, is a little trickier, because we have to get beyond the conditions that are the reflection of the thinking that we have had up until this point. So it becomes important to first know where we want to go, to know what it is we want. It's good to say, I'd like more good in my life, but that is open to individual interpretation. What may be good for me may not necessarily be good for you from your perspective. I will say that it is good for God, because that infinite intelligence, that all unconditioned field of love, requires that each one of us be individualized as who we are right now for this entire experience of now to be happening as an expression of good, of infinite spirit knowing itself in particular forms. And so if we want to experience more of something, we must begin by rooting out those thoughts, those particles of negativity that are floating through our minds. And sometimes we call that nostalgia. And usually when we think of nostalgia, right? Nostalgia is that, oh, warm, fun feeling of summer afternoons running around in the grass and playing with our friends as youth. But quite often, what nostalgia is the list of negative experiences, pains we have experienced, and pains we have given others, that runs through our heads to express itself again in our lives. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but I go down Morose Lane once in a while, and it really takes some serious consideration and effort, if you will, to root out those things and return my thinking to what I am and what I want to be now, what I want to be experiences. If anybody else has those, I understand. Sometimes it's not easy to let go of the conditions of what has happened before. And sometimes when we don't let go, we get to experience them again, perhaps in a modified form. But it is not predestiny to experience those again. 2 ways to root them out: 10 or 15 years of therapy. That works. Or let them go and pray. Because we have the ability, because we are in control of the conscious part of our mind, to shift the conscious part of our mind to an acceptance of a greater good that has already been given by the infinite spirit of life itself to us to accept and to claim it as ours now. We can move forward with that. Now, sometimes it may take a little longer than other times, and that can lead to some perhaps disappointing feelings. And I'll bring forward something that Ernest Holmes was asked once about, how much should we pray? And his response was, until we demonstrate. So I'd like to say that, well, each prayer, each practical prayer, affirmative prayer, turning to an awareness. See, an affirmative prayer is turning to an awareness of something that is. Not will be and not was. Something that is now in presence and a divine expression of life. So all good has been given. All love is an infinite, pervasive field of God activity in our lives and in everything, in fact. All energy is an expression of the divine source and how we've individualized it and all that stuff. But it is the good of spirit expressed fully and completely right here, right now. So when we turn to that truth, it's not a difficult turn. It's just allowing ourselves to let go of all of the negativity that blocks us from an understanding that all good is now present. And when we truly get the knowledge of that in our heads to start with, it moves to our heart. And then knowledge becomes knowing. When we know that we know, we know. And when we know it, the universe responds to that knowing and brings it about in the condition of experience in a logical course of events. We are sorcerers, not magicians. We work with source. And from that source unfolds our awareness of the good that was already present that we just weren't accepting into our lives. From whatever place we are right now, we can begin to experience something greater by accepting the awareness that that greater is already present. And that's how we go from knowledge to knowing. When we become aligned in our minds and our hearts, our words, our activities, with the awareness of the good that is already present, that good is instantly available. There's no time in the infinite. It is available to us in this very moment now, if we accept it. So while an RPA, a rapid pace affirmation, is a good way to shift from an immediate negative thought, I will say that it is not the end all be all of changing our thinking. Because once again, we are influenced by that which we receive from the world. The news, driving on any particular highway. Anything that brings up a negative feeling in you has now opened up to you the awareness of something that should be explored and let go of. Because the allness of good is present right here in its fullness, right now. And when we open to that, we experience more often the good that we choose to experience. I've spent over 20 years practicing this. And I have had miraculous or perhaps ordinary things happen to me in the course of changing my thinking. I have also had disappointments in the course of that thinking, but it has led to the unfolding of an evolved consciousness of what I still have to work on. I believe we all have work to do, in consciousness first, and with our physical presence second, and certainly with our words of love, compassion, joy, and understanding in each moment. For that's why God requires us, and that's what draw you to this. You came here because there was something that resonated with both your experience, your hope, and your desire with the idea of new thought. There are no accidents or coincidences in an infinite intelligence. Everything that is unfolding as an opportunity for us to raise our consciousness to a higher level, to recognize the unity of all life, to recognize the allness of love, and to be the individualized expression thereof. It is incumbent upon us because there is no one else. There is only one. Love and blessings on your journey. I'm grateful to be with you today.
Thank you, Dave. There's nothing like a blank page. You get to start from scratch. It could be anything, man. There's no catch. It's a good place for a dreamer. A good place for a dreamer to dream away. A blank page. There's nothing like a clean slate. You get another shot. To do things like you meant to the first time you picked up the chalk. It's a good day for a sinner, a good day for a sinner, so why wait for a clean slate? Sometimes I get caught up where I'm never meant to be. It's the curse of being free, the curse of being free. But baby, it's a good day for the travelers and the sinners. All would be winners, the everyday begin againers. Oh, begin againers. There's nothing like a full tank and an open road. Cause every destination is between somewhere and somewhere else in this great nation, and it's your world. It's a good thing for a traveler, a good thing for a traveler, like cash in the bank. A full tank. Sometimes I get caught up where I'm never meant to be. It's the curse of being free, the curse of being free. But baby, it's a good day for the travelers and the sinners. All would be winners, the everyday begin againers. Begin againers. Oh, begin againers. Begin Againers by Scott Mulvihill. Thanks.
Thank you, Emily. And thank you, Reverend Dave. We're going to continue with some meditation now. And a couple of things came up for me that I thought we could use to focus on. I liked, Reverend Dave, I liked that statement. Everything has already been given. It's ours to allow and accept. And I was also reminded of the power of forgiveness. Because I think sometimes it's hard when those negative thoughts come up to release them until we're able to forgive ourselves for even going in that direction. I find it's easier to release it if I say, if I find some way to forgive myself. Let's get comfortable in our chairs, get your feet flat on the floor, sit up straight, really whatever way you're comfortable, so that you can relax and settle in. Feel connected to the earth underneath of us, and kind of stretch up to the stars in the universe above, space above. We'll start out by taking some slow, deep breaths. Breathe in, hold it at the top, and release fully, a big sigh. One more deep breath. Inhale, hold it at the top, and release. One more. Breathe in, hold it, and release. Kind of feel yourself spread out, stretch. Try to find the edges of that space around you and realize that you can't. It extends further than you can ever reach. Allow that divine wholeness to flow through you. And listen to the song of your being. Everything has already been given. It is ours to accept and allow. When we listen to the song of our being, we can connect with the source. To all of those things that are already given. And then you just have to allow and accept. Find that song of your being. Carry that into the silence.
I speak this word on behalf of each one present, knowing that the divine source, the infinite intelligence, the allness of love is expressed and expressing through and as everything. That peace and joy, harmony and abundance permeate and saturate all that is with the goodness of its own being. That is finding unique and wonderful ways to share itself as each one, here and everywhere. And so I speak this word on behalf of each one here, knowing that the good that is spirit is right here, right now, unfolding effortlessly and easily as an expression of that love, of that abundance, of that vitality, of the infinite expression of good through, as, and for each one. The divine peace is emerging in consciousness, allowing for clarity, for harmony, and for joy. joy in the awareness of the interconnectedness of all that is, the dissolution of any sense of separation, the removal of any lingering doubt or guilt. For all is forgiven, for there was nothing to forgive. The divine source, knowing the good of life through and as us right now. And for this I give thanks, from a place of gratitude and joy, knowing that the One is present here and now, alive at the highest through the individual channel of each one on this call and each one everywhere. I give thanks for the individual expressions that have come forward through this meditation as the direction that Spirit wants to go. For it I know it is the divine expressing. It is the harmony of life, the joy of life, the goodness of life, expressing an even greater understanding of itself. And for this I give thanks. And so knowing that this prayer is whole and complete, I release this word to the law, knowing that the law is responding as it has always responded to every idea, every thought, every expression that has ever been placed in it. It is saying yes, yes to good, yes to love, yes to peace. And so it is.
Take a deep, full breath. Allow your awareness to come back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe do a little happy dance as Emily sings another song for us.
Yes, happy dance time. Which is perfect because I didn't plan to do this one, but this is a song I've done in some of the baby and toddler music classes that I do. And it's perfect for this moment. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river in my soul. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Emily. And thanks for the dance. Jesus, you dancing in Florida? Yep. So we've been planting some seeds, setting some intentions, opening to new possibilities. And this is the opportunity to give voice to those a little bit. My first question is, Dave, were you really worried about Zoom bombers before the celebration today?
Honest to goodness.
Okay. Well, every once in a while, somebody drops by and they're not in the same boogie that we are. And we gently escort them to the door, kind of the way we did at the Adrian Theater when we were there as well. Every once in a while, somebody swing by. It's like, you're not in the right place. we lovingly will remove you to your better place. Anybody else have something that you'd like to give voice to this morning? Sandy.
I feel very inspired. I am not a gardener. I don't enjoy gardening. I like laying on the earth, but I don't like digging in the earth. But I feel really inspired to weed out my negative thoughts. So I want to thank you, Dave, for that. That's an important piece.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sandy. Jane? Oh, make sure that you can unmute. Yes, now you can unmute.
Reverend Dave. Oh my gosh. I've just nothing really, specific, just that I just missed you and just hearing your voice and listening to your talk. And I have my notebook next to me and I was, taking down notes and things that just resonated with me. And I definitely echo what Sandy said. Just, I'm feeling it, that it's time to just root out, I mean, it's always time to root out the negative stuff, but I mean, I feel very inspired, very nourished from your talk today. So thank you. So wonderful to see you too.
Thank you, Jane. Carla Ann.
Hi, I have a couple things real quick. But first off, I love a jelly toast and I love a peanut butter and jelly toast. And I love both, and I love a peanut butter toast. And Reverend Dave and Reverend Bill are my peanut butter and jelly toast. And it's so wonderful to have you both here. And Reverend Dave, I also just miss you. And it's just wonderful to hear you. I also have my notebook, tri-colored notes, and it is just awesome. And February, March, and April are three awareness months that work into my job. And it's been very challenging. And there's also a loss of my family. So there's a challenging period. And I've kind of felt a little beaten on, but you just, last week we planted the seeds and this week you'll have me rooting out the weeds. And I'm just so grateful. And it's, again, so wonderful to see you. And I'm so happy to know you. And thank you. Mwah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carla Ann. Jeanette, I see that your hand is raised. You go ahead and unmute and turn your camera on. So you say, hey. Okay, Carolyn.
Well, now we have met and we know each other. And that was a fabulous talk. And it just reinforced all of those things that I know and I sometimes forget and just wander astray. And it just really sunk in. And thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And Jeanette, take two.
I'm back. Thank you. Take two. Yes, I believed I was unmuted and then whatever happened. So here I am. And thank you, everyone, so very much. Of course, especially to you, especially to Dave. And yes, I'm here and I came and Reverend Dave said that, and there is a reason. And one of the reasons is to be part of his special presentation. And it could not be more well timed than now. So thank you very much. Hope to stay in touch and look forward to the dance. And in the meantime, would it be possible to bring back the chat, or because of the problem you deliberately took it off and there is no way for us to say hello in writing today?
Yes, the chat is re-enabled now that the hooligans have been dismissed from the room. Delia.
Hi.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
So I just really appreciated the talk in terms of worry versus knowing that good is coming. And it felt right for me because my daughter's been going through some infertility issues for the last couple years, and this is her 7th round of in vitro fertilization, and it's been really stressful. But she has 4 fertilized eggs, and we're waiting to see if they reach the point where they can be frozen and then transferred. And she was disappointed that that's all the eggs that were fertilized out of the 16 that were extracted this month. So there's always that back and forth between worry and hope. And I just wanted to put it out there because I still have a lot of hope, and I hope that there'll be prayers for her too. I know there's been a lot. She's got a lot of people rooting for her, but I just really, it's hard to keep going through this. So thank you for the talk and the meditation. It was very helpful.
Yeah, and the prayers for you, Grandma. Christine, and then Sandy's got the offertory for us.
Yeah, I just think it was a beautiful celebration all the way around. Thank you, Emily, for the amazing music, and Breen and Rev Bill and Rev Dave, and just it was just so timely. I think it's so timely. It's perfect timing. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine Joy. Sandy?
Yep. New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Ain't that the truth? Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We're grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there's a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card or PayPal. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on our screen. Let's say it together. I live
in an abundant universe.
I am
one, the infinite source of all good. I am a center of conscious prosperity. I enjoy the riches of life. I bless my gift. I share my gift with gratitude and joy. I know that as I give, I do receive.
I will receive.
So it is. So it
It
is.
is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Emily, take us home.
Right. This can be a sing-along, but stay muted if you are able to, please. Just because I have my original sound on and it can get crazy. So I'm sure this has been done a million times at New Thought Philly, but it's a classic. It's a great one. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that have me fly. It's gonna be a bright, bright, bright sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, bright sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. One more time. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Woo! Thanks, y'all.
Woo. So reach out and take the hand of the person next to you and say after me, I release any negativity.
I release any
Release
negativity.
negativity.
I accept my good.
I
I accept my good.
I am that good.
I
am that good.
I am that love.
I am that love.
Love.
I am that life.
I
I
am
am
that life.
that life.
And the universe says yes.
The universe says yes.
Yes.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Okay.
You
Thank
said
you guys. You were
earlier-
beautiful.
You're beautiful. You said earlier, we're not magicians, we're sorcerers. And then you said something else. What was the last bit of that sentence?
Because we work with source.
Because we work with source. Okay, thank you. I'm writing that one down.
Sorcerer.
I
That's who
always
you are.
say, I always say when I'm out in the field, like, oh, I don't need to know exactly how that works out. That's electrician magic. But now I can feel like I've got to work in sorcerer somehow too. And you know, people won't know what type of source I mean, but I will. It'll be so fun.
There you go. A stealth
And it
prayer.
will seem
Perfect.
miraculous.
Very
So-
cool.
The good news is that Zoom notified me that our meeting was at risk
Oh, that's nice.
shortly after we were Zoom bombed, but you know, it's a step in the right direction. So
It blows my mind, the energy that must take. I don't even know how you would find a Zoom meeting that you don't know that is there already. So to actually go and find them and bomb them, I have to take a nap.
Steve, thank you
Same
so
energy
much.
when you're driving down the highway and you see graffiti and you go, how did they get up there?
I was like laughing during your talk because when you talked about the highway and like it made me immediately want to write into the chat, Minister Reverend of Road Rage. But it was
I've gotten better.
And I was supposed to be working today. I was really bummed I wasn't going to get to hear your talk. Unfortunately, I got injured at work last night, and that's why I'm off. But I'm delighted that I was able to be here and like not watch it on a recording later. It's just, you know, a lot different to be in the moment. Oh, here's Lane. She's saying hi.
Hey, Lane. Wow, that's Lane.
Yes, Lane.
Oh my goodness.
happy birthday, Lane, by the way. Just turned 12.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, you're,
Oh, she's gonna be a teenager in a year. Oh no.
yeah,
Let's not talk about it.
the
But
last age with a single syllable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to embarrass her, but I remember when Lane used to like sit on my lap during the service when we were in person, and sometimes she would just fall asleep, and I'd be like, I can't move. I just really can't. I don't want to wake her up. She looks so comfortable.
Sleeping is the only time she's still, so I understand.
always delighted to put people to sleep.
Part
It's
of
so
the job.
relaxing.
Yeah.
Hey, Dana, are you back in Philadelphia?
Absolutely.
Okay. Costa Rica went well?
Oh, incredible. Great
Nice.
trip. Really
Nice.
great trip. Thank you for asking.
You bet. Jesus was concerned he hadn't seen you in a couple of weeks. And I said, no.
Thank you,
she's-
Jesus.
She's off traveling the Central Americas.
In the universe.
There you go. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Reverend Dave, did you read any of your sabbatical books?
Most of them.
Yay.
We're still working through pronoia.
Me too. I am too.
I took a detour and was reading the Heinlein books twice, so, you know.
Yay.
Yes, I have a table full of books that I'm wanting to read, and it's telling me I need a bigger table.
Don't take a sabbatical.
No,
I'm actually moving to books on tape, or you know, like audiobooks, because that way I can listen to them, feel that I've read them, and then, you know, forget the fact that I've read them.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, I have to run, but thank you so much for having me share some music. And it was so great to see you, Dave,
You too, Emily.
to hear your beautiful talk. And yeah, have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Emily.
Peace and blessings.
The music is beautiful.
Thank you.
Who was somebody signed up for Miracle in a Minute, and how do I? Was it Joe?
It's Joe.
That would be me.
Okay.
Annie, can I call you in a little bit?
Sure thing.
I just got to check on my dad.
Okay.
And Joe, can we do one after you do it with Annie?
Yes, there's somebody else in line, so I will get to everybody.
Cool beans.
I gotta run. Have a great
Just
day,
a-
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Just a quick
Bye, Dave. Good to see you.
comment.
Take care,
Instead of a
everybody.
bigger table, maybe audio book is the solution. Then you don't have to read. It is read for you. Audio books.
Right. And then you just need a large hard drive.
Make it work.
But they're generally fairly small, so, you know.
Yes, in comparison, and somebody does the work for you. So I don't know, some people really love audiobooks, some don't. So it was just appropriate. I thought a comment that, yes, you don't have to read if you don't want to.
Right. As long as, when I'm listening on 95, as long as they're not shocking.
Yeah, there's that.
Make
Green,
me
good job
swerve
today.
on-
Thank you.
Pronoia, is that the Bresny book? I just found that on Amazon.
Bresney on the blog.
Yeah.
It's his book, Pronoia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm still working through it, i.e. I've read the index. Not gonna falsify my knowledge of that particular book yet, but you know.
Is it like Hemingway, where he goes on for 4 or 5 pages about the smallest little thing?
I certainly hope not, but the index wasn't.
It's kind of become like this obsession for me since I found, like Abe's books and thrift books. And I just find these awesome books for like, $2.99, $3.99. And I'm like, I'm sure Breen, right? You're like, there's another package for you here. And then like Bill said, it's like, I've just got like this little side table that's next to our leather chair in the living room now. And the books just keep growing. And I'm like, I'll get to them someday.
Yeah. Someday I'll. The desert island.
I
Yeah.
saw a cartoon on Facebook. There's a woman sitting, she was reading a book, and there was a pile of books. There's several piles of books around her, and the caption was, "Oh, those are my emotional support books." You just feel good having that pile of books sitting next to you.
True.
Yeah. I don't want to have to build another bookcase like that one. So that's why they're stacking up on the table.
So
Dave, when you get a chance, just do a we send it or something of the QuickTime file,
Oh yeah,
I was planning on that.
recording.
which will be